Today guys, we'll be checking out Lubna, a British woman of Pakistani heritage. I see her as British, but obviously she's got Pakistani heritage and she calls out her own people. I like to think that I'm unfiltered and I say the raw truth and facts, like I see them without bias. But this woman, Lubna, takes it up a notch. She takes it to a next level that even sometimes I'm like, okay. Anyway, that's too much guys. Let's check out this video. She said she's back with a dire warning for the UK. Let's go.
Hi guys, so I'm back officially for now, hence why I am now showing my face on camera. So please do bear in mind though that the day that you're going to watch this video is not necessarily the day that I would have recorded it, or even the same week, or even potentially the same month. So I have been keeping myself undercover and I'm still trying to keep a low profile because there are crazy nutcases out there. So what I would like to say to everybody is that the situation in the UK is far worse than you can even imagine, because had it not been, I would not have had to leave my home the way I did, and everything that I've experienced the last couple of weeks, and I would say, 2 months, I would not have experienced that had the situation in the UK been any better. So whatever you think is happening in the UK, it's actually much, much worse, and things have progressed to a very ugly stage.
She had to go to running. That's crazy.
We are in a very dire situation, guys. So for those of you guys who don't know who I am, I'm a YouTuber and I've been posting on YouTube consistently, or I had been for the past year. And essentially what I was doing is, so I was raised as a Muslim and my parents were born in Pakistan and my grandparents were born in India. I was born in England. But what I was doing is the last years I was condemning the bad apples, and the bad apples only, within my own race and religion. And I was encouraging other people from my race and religion to also call out the bad people, i.e. the grooming gangs and the extremists and other crazy people doing bad things, which is making us all look bad. And sadly, the tolerance levels within the community are so low where they didn't want to hear anything. And actually, they saw me even criticizing the bad apples. They saw even that as a threat to them for some stupid, crazy reason. So I had to essentially flee my home. And I lived in Luton for 40 years. I had to get out of there. But of course, I was getting online threats, and that's normal for anyone, I think, on YouTube. But when people started turning up at my door, you know, and they were threatening me online, they clearly knew where I live. Like, obviously I needed to get out. And at that point, some of you may have seen my video where I was very upset because literally I had to leave my home very quickly. And all I could say is the only reason I was able to leave and move is because of my supporters who supported me. So I would like to thank you guys personally, because I have thanked you before, but that was with my camera off, and that's not the same thing. So I'd like to sincerely, from the bottom of my heart, thank you guys. Every single person that helped me. It doesn't matter how much someone contributed. The only reason I was able to make the moves that I've made, the things that I've been able to do and move from there after 40 years is because of your help. I would not have been able to do it without your help, guys. So I've been let down by this country, the legal system, the whatever you want to call it, the policing system. I've been let down by people from my own race and religion because, again, the majority of people, 99.9% of the people that helped me during this horrible time were non-Muslims.
Wow. For calling out the problems in the country, for trying to ensure that her own people look good, she became a target. Free speech in the UK is completely destroyed, demolished. And she said it, the legal system have failed her. I mean, I've called out, you know, things that Nigerians do. Okay, I've called it out a lot of times, I've said it. But how Nigerians operate is different. We Nigerians laugh at ourselves. Nigerians can bash you online, but Nigerians don't really care that much about you. Okay, but it's really sad what she's going through.
And you know, so God bless each one of you guys. God bless you guys. I'm extremely grateful. And sadly, this I thought would have been an opportunity for the people from my own race and religion to come out and say, do you know what? It's unacceptable that she's getting threatened or whatever. And sadly, I didn't see that. There was a few comments, but there was always a but and an if. and gross exaggeration or misunderstanding of what I was trying to actually achieve. The majority of people were actually happy that, oh, look, now she's going to stop making content and now she's going to stop condemning the bad apples. And this is what I still don't get. Like, if you're saying you're a good apple, right, you're not one of the bad guys, why would you have an issue with me condemning the bad people, i.e. the extremists and the people like the grooming gangs and all those kind of people? Like, why are you trying to cover for these people? I'm just baffled by it. And like I've said in my previous video, the only reason you'd want to cover for these people is if you're one of these people yourselves, right? If you yourself are a bad apple.
Fair point.
Is the only reason why you're not going to understand, or you're going to pretend you don't understand what I'm talking about. So the situation in the UK is very, very bad. If in 2025 this is happening to me, where I'm having to move and there's people who are so confident that they can threaten me and silence me, what do you think is going to happen, guys, in 5 years' time, in 10 years' time, in 20 years' time? Can you imagine how UK is going to look like? I really fear for this country, and that's the only reason why I was speaking up, because I could see the direction this country is going in, a country that I was born in, a country that I love, a country that's given me everything, and I felt like it's my duty that I need to speak up and condemn the bad apples. So I have made a few notes because I don't want to forget everything that I'm saying, and I don't want to waste your time because I appreciate you guys are very busy. So, whatever. And so the online threats turned into people actually turning up at my door. And do you know what? Look, the thing that I was trying to do on my channel. So I opened a YouTube channel 5 years ago, but the content was different. But it wasn't the content that I wanted to make, and I wasn't posting consistently. The content that I really wanted to make is the content that I'm making now. Condemning the bad apples. Like, I was really holding my tongue for a very long time because I know the tolerance levels within the community are very low. They don't want to listen. They don't want to learn. They don't want anyone to tell them that they're wrong. They just want to continue to play the victim card, although we've seen very clearly the last 2 months how the people who call themselves victims, how they were so happy that I'm being threatened and that I'm now going to be silent and I'm going to close my channel down. That's what they thought, right? So these people are definitely no victims. They are very much the perpetrators, the majority of them, I would say, from my personal experience. So, yeah, but for a while, I was hesitating to speak about these topics because of the tolerance levels. And sadly, what I found is even like the critical reasoning skills are next to nil. They're non-existent with a lot of these people, the majority of these people. That they have, their attitude is very, very wrong. Having the victimhood mentality, the hostile mentality living in England, the growing up with a chip on their shoulder, keep talking about British Empire, colonialism. Sorry, I'm going to try not to swear. Why are you living here then? I mean, I just don't understand why these people are living here if they feel...
I say that to like even many Nigerians and a lot of my friends that try to bash the UK. I just ask them, then why are you living here? I say it's easy, go to another country. I know many people that have left and gone to other countries because they felt like this country wasn't, good enough for them. I mean, I think it's just simple. That's what I think, okay? If I felt like I didn't like the UK, I would have gone. I would have left.
I'll keep talking about British Empire, colonialism. Sorry, I'm going to try not to swear. Why are you living here then? I mean, I just don't understand why these people are living here if they feel if they feel this way. It's just ridiculous to me. So what these people did is, guys, the reason why I'm coming on here is to tell you guys, A, that I'm back, and B, is that I have to continue making my content because there's two reasons. One is my whole ordeal. I've been thinking about what I've experienced and the condition of the UK and the direction we're going in. So if I stop making content now, these crazy nutcases win. And things can only get worse for the UK. They cannot get better with me being silent. And also, if I stop making content, the last image anyone's going to have of me is of me crying and asking people for money, and I'm sorry, that's not the last image I want people to know of me online, that, she cried, and she cried because she was guilty. Surely that's why she was crying, because she was guilty, and then she took money from people. I'm sorry, that's not me. That's not the image I want of people to have of me. And it's not right. I'm not the one who was wrong, guys. Yes, okay, I vented a few times and I was angry, and and I said some things that you guys didn't want to hear, but sadly it's the reality, guys, of the situation in the UK and the image that people have of us, I'm not responsible for the image, the bad image that Muslims and Pakistanis have in this country. I'm not responsible. I'm someone who's trying to improve the image. So this is what was baffling to me. I'm someone who's trying to improve the image, and I'm being accused of the reason why the image is so bad of the Pakistanis and Muslims. And I'm thinking, what are you talking about? People are talking about us, okay? If you bother looking at other channels and if you bother reading the news, there is content out there. Now, I've said this before, I'm going to repeat it again. I am asking the Muslims and Pakistanis to address the issues and concerns people have of us, about us. Acknowledge them, address them, come to the table, have a conversation, communicate. I'm trying to build bridges. But I'm going to be honest, guys. I've said this before. I'm not going to lie on my channel. And if you think it makes the Muslims and Pakistanis look bad, I'm sorry. Then that's on you. My whole experience, the last even year, but especially the last 2 months, like I've said, like this should have been an opportunity for the Muslims and Pakistanis to condemn the extremists, to say this is not in my name, this is wrong. You know, we live in England. She should be allowed to speak, and she's not saying anything about Islam. I've never said anything bad about Islam. Actually, it's the contrary, where I've always said, you know what, yes, there's not one Islam, there's different versions of Islam that people follow. Like there's Shia, there's Sunni, and all that kind of stuff. And even within this, there are different, people are following the scripture to different extremities. Extremities, is that a word? Have I just made that up? My brain's not working. But for some reason, people, what they've tried to do is, guys, they've tried to falsely accuse me of things. To try to silence me, and this is what's really, really bugging me, and this is the reason why I have to continue talking, because people see me crying, my last video where I was crying, as proof that I was wrong, and that's why I was crying. They are now making stuff up about me, like, oh, I did blasphemy and I was saying bad stuff about Islam, and I keep asking people, when did I say anything bad about Islam? I really don't remember. I definitely spoke about bad people who are Muslims, for sure. But when did I speak bad about Islam? So what these people are doing is they're trying to falsely accuse me of saying bad stuff about Islam when I was actually condemning the Muslims, the humans, who are doing bad things. That's the only thing I've ever done. Of course, we have discussed religion generally as well, and bits and pieces of religion. Other Muslims have come on the channel, discuss bits and pieces, their questions. My fear, guys, is this is exactly what happens in Pakistan, where what happens is people falsely accuse you of blasphemy just to silence you, just to get you killed, just to get rid of you, because they don't want to address the issues. They don't know how to. They wouldn't know where to begin. So I feel like this is what's happening to me here, and that's wrong, right? This is nonsense. Like, this is bullshit. Like, why are you saying I'm saying bad stuff about Islam when I've never even mentioned? I don't even talk about Islam. I'm talking about Muslims and the bad stuff Muslims have done, and they need to stop doing this, because it's making us all look bad. Sorry, I'm waffling on. That's why I made notes, right? Let me look at my notes. Yeah. So although I'm going to continue my channel, which I said even 2 months ago when I was crying, I am taking on feedback. So I didn't lie when I said I'm going to take on feedback. I have taken on feedback. I will, of course, think about the way I'm wording things and all that kind of stuff. I was thinking about that before as well, but I will try to be more careful. I will talk about more wider topics as well. I will try to discuss bad apples from all races and religions as well, just so the Muslims and Pakistanis don't feel like they're being singled out and all that kind of stuff. So I have taken all that feedback on board. So I'm not going to continue as before exactly and not learn. I'm someone who is willing to learn. I'm willing to course correct, improve myself. I'm not afraid of that. I'm no perfect angel. I'm not saying that everything I said was perfect and it was, and there's nothing that could have been worded better. But I'm not going to put up with people falsely accuse me of blasphemy and falsely accuse me of shit that I haven't said or done, okay? If I'm saying cousin marriages isn't a good idea, I'm saying it's not a good idea, guys, especially if you guys... And I'm going to repeat that. Again, it's the same stuff I've been talking about the whole year. It's not a good idea. If you've done it once, fair enough. It's happened now. But if you then have your children do it and it's kind of generational, you're going to really screw up your genes. if Muslims, if someone does something bad and they happen to be a Muslim, you need to call it out more. And what you also need to do is you need to stop silencing those people who are calling out the bad apples. That's what's happened to me. All I was literally doing is calling out the bad people, the wrong'uns. And instead of you also joining me in calling these bad people out, when you guys, people from my own race and religion, have actively tried to silence me, I'm sorry, then you guys have yourselves to blame if people think that we are all the bad apples. So I'd like to thank everyone for your continued support. Without your support, I don't know what I would have done, guys. People from my own race and religion left me. They were all too happy seeing me in distress and seeing what's happening with me. And like I said, if I give up and I discontinue my channel and content, then the bad guys win. And that's what they want. And that's what we cannot allow to happen in this country, because the only things can only get worse, guys. And for those of you guys who follow my channel from abroad, I'm telling you guys, the situation in the UK is worse than you guys can think.
It is really bad, I know it's really bad, but this one of someone actually being targeted, of someone being, people turning up at someone's door. Okay, I didn't think, it got to that point. And the legal system actually failing people. Okay, I've seen quite a few examples of it, but I didn't know it was this deep. Okay, even YouTubers. And she said, and from what I've heard her talk about in the past, she calls out the wrong apples because she wants her own people to be seen in better light. Okay, I want Nigerians to be seen in good light. So I'll call out what Nigerians do that is wrong. Okay, that I feel is wrong. And if they feel it's not wrong, then we can have a debate and talk about it. Because at the end of the day, it's my opinion versus yours. And if you think I'm wrong, then come, let's sit down and talk about it. Because at the end of the day, we are both going to learn. All right, if I'm wrong, then correct me, let's talk. But not going to attack someone for having a different view from you. Okay?
Because I should not have had to leave my home. There is so much more that I'd like to speak about, but I'm going to leave that for another day. I will try posting regularly where possible. Do not ask me where I am, where I'm living, and all those kind of things. It hasn't been easy, guys, with 2 kids to move and do everything that I'm doing. I lived in Luton for 40 years, and all my memories are of Luton, like going to school, my childhood, having children there, everything. So, but I'm happy that I left, right? Because imagine, I don't even want to imagine how things are going to be in Luton in 20 years' time. Yeah, so like I said, my intention was always a good intention. And even now, my intention is good. I'm someone who does believe in God. And I am a God-fearing, God-loving individual. I'm not out to get some people. And I'm not trying to do bad, I'm trying to do good. So I am very much disappointed in the Muslim Pakistani community. And since my ordeal, that's all I've been thinking about. Do you know what, guys? And I'm trying to hold back the tears. I don't want to cry again on camera, but things are worse than I thought. I'm so disappointed in the Muslim Pakistani community. There are a very few, but there are good Muslims, but a very few that have come on my channel that have supported me, and who have condemned the bad apples. But there's not enough. I'm shocked at how low the percentage is. I genuinely thought, a year ago when I started speaking about this stuff, I genuinely thought that the percentage of good apples is going to be higher. But the last year, and especially my ordeal, what it showed is that the situation is very bad, guys. I am very, very scared for this country. I'm scared that some psycho will deliberately try to accuse me of stuff to target me, because I think some of these people are just jealous. They can't compete. I've said this before. I'm not some stuck-up person. I don't think I'm Miss World or I'm some really kind of genius or whatever. But there are just some people who just can't compete generally, and the way they handle their emotions is by falsely accusing people, trying to get rid of them, trying to just hate on them. And that's what's happened to me. Sorry, I feel like I'm waffling. The notes that I've made have completely messed the order up and everything, so that's why this video is not as slick as it could have been, guys. But I'm very disappointed that the people who call themselves peaceful Muslims, or whatever, peaceful, whatever, they didn't act very peaceful the last 2 months. That's very disappointing. Yeah, that's it. Sorry, I'm waffling now. So I'll go and I will come back.
Wow. She was targeted by her own community for calling out the bad apples because she wants her people to be seen in better light. You see what's happening in the UK? She highlighted something really important, that in the UK things are worse than they seem. Worse than most people see. Now we can see some evidence of how things are with the double standards, with the two-tier policing and the immigration row, you know, the illegal immigrants, some people being protected over others, which is unfair. There should be equal justice for all. We should all think about putting this country first, pushing this country forward. Let's be brothers and sisters. That's how it's meant to be. Even if we don't agree with each other, we should be able to sit down and talk about it. If someone is lying, that might be a different thing, but if someone is calling out what is happening, I think it calls for a debate and not violence. She said something about the Pakistani community. I've seen many videos from abroad, from many places where people are saying bad things about Pakistanis. Me, I do my best not to say bad things about people. I can call out an act and try to make sure it's all factual, because I don't believe in targeting people. I believe that if there's a problem in the country, the problem is that of the government, because it's up to the government to sort it out. If there's a problem in the house, it's up to the parents to try to sort it out. Anyway, really sad, okay, about what's going on with Lubna. And I hope that more people will get the right mindset, that we should have room for debate, room to sit down and have a chat, rather than target people. Anyway, guys, I'm going to catch you next video. Peace. Love you more than words can say. You are me. Oh, you are the light that shine in my way. You are me. Oh, I love you more than words can say. You are me. Oh, you are the light that shine in my way.